Welcome back. We're continuing our journey through the classic Mosaic Truth series. And well, today's topic is one I've really been looking forward to. We're at our 10th installment, and the title is just one word. But it might be the most loaded, emotionally charged word there is. Healing.
It is a heavy word, yeah. And one that's been, pulled in so many different directions over the years.
That's putting it lightly. I think for a lot of people listening, maybe especially those who lean more towards, logic and science,
Sure.
when they hear healing in this context, the defenses go up. They think we're about to talk about, I don't know, faith healing or crystals.
Right, or just manifesting away a broken leg or something.
Exactly, without a doctor. And look, that's a fair skepticism to have.
Oh, completely. There's a lot of noise out there.
Right.
But to be really clear right from the start, that is absolutely not what Thomas Troward is talking about in the Edinburgh Lectures.
Okay, so we're digging into Chapter 11 of his work from back in 1909. But we're also bringing in our research, some Stoic philosophy, modern neuroscience, even the psychology of habit.
Yeah. The goal here is really to strip away all the woo-woo, as you said, and just look at the mechanics of it.
So let's ground this immediately. When a mind like Troward's, a judge, a logician, when he says healing, what does he actually mean?
It's a fascinating definition because it's so devoid of magic. For
Yeah.
Troward, healing is simply the restoration of order.
That's it.
That's it. It's a return to a natural state of harmony, a return to flow.
Restoration of order. I mean, that sounds more like engineering than metaphysics.
Precisely. And you have to remember his background. He was a man of statutes, of laws, of precedent. He didn't believe in a chaotic universe where things just happen randomly.
Right.
He believed that health, and this is key, whether it's a physical body, a mind, or even a business health, is the normal, lawful state of being.
So being sick or broken, that's the anomaly in his view.
That's the anomaly.
Yes.
Illness or disease is just a disruption of that lawful order. It's a glitch in the system. So healing isn't about adding some supernatural power from the outside.
It's about removing the glitch.
It's about removing the disruption so the system can go back to running the way it was designed to run.
I really like that framing. It kind of takes the pressure off. It's not, I need to perform a miracle. It's more like, I need to clean up the mess.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
And just to widen the scope here, when we say healing today, we're not just talking about the physical body, are we?
No, and that is such a crucial point. While Troward definitely talks about the body, this principle of restoring order is universal. It applies everywhere.
So like healing a scattered mind that can't focus.
Absolutely. Or healing a strained relationship that's become, toxic. Or healing a career that's just completely stalled out.
Anywhere there's friction, basically.
Anywhere there's chaos, friction, or decay. If the natural flow has stopped, these principles apply. It's about getting life moving again.
Okay, that makes this so much more practical for everyone listening, no matter what's going on in their lives. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of this, but just before we do, a quick note, if this episode helps you, please hit like and subscribe for the next one.
And we also need to pause here for a very serious and necessary disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be talking about philosophical concepts, mindset, stress reduction, mental habits.
Mm-hmm.
This is a look at history and theory. It is not medical advice.
Right, we're exploring ideas, we're not writing prescriptions.
Exactly. If you, the listener, have any physical or mental health concerns, you must consult a licensed professional. Troward's philosophy is about the inner climate, but it is never, ever a substitute for professional care.
Absolutely. Think of it as, optimizing the software, but you still need the experts to work on the hardware.
Perfect analogy.
So let's get into the core mission of this conversation. Troward sees the body and even our life circumstances as a vehicle for the mind.
Yes, that's his word. The body is the vehicle. The mind is the driver. Now, Ahmed, you got this incredible car. If the driver is calm, attentive, skilled, the car runs beautifully.
But if the driver is a maniac, slamming on the brakes, flooring the gas, screaming at everyone,
the transmission blows out, the vehicle suffers damage, not because the car was bad, but because the operator was, abusive.
So Troward's argument is that fear and anxiety are like that erratic driver.
They damaged the vehicle.
Yes. So our goal today is to figure out how to stop driving like a maniac.
That's it, in a nutshell. We want to move away from this idea of fighting illness, which is a combat metaphor that actually just creates more stress.
Right.
And move toward the idea of cultivating vitality.
Cultivating vitality. That leads us right into the central analogy he uses in this chapter. It's the gardener.
The gardener, it's the perfect metaphor because it really respects the limits of what we can do. I mean, think about it. If you plant a seed, do you as the gardener make it grow?
No, I can't force the sprout to come out.
If you got tweezers and tried to pull it out, you'd kill it. You'd destroy the very thing you're trying to help.
So where does the growth come from?
The seed itself contains what he calls the vital principle. The blueprint is in there. The intelligence is already present.
It knows how to be a tomato plant. It doesn't need me to explain it.
Exactly. The gardener's job is just to provide the conditions, the right soil, water, sun. The gardener creates an environment of order. He pulls the weeds, which are disorder,
And then gets out of the way.
and then allows the process to happen. And that's the hard part for most of us, the allowing.
Because Troward is saying that healing works exactly the same way.
He is. We don't force our bodies to heal with willpower. We provide the right mental conditions, peace, confidence, and then we trust that vital principle to do the repairing, the restoring.
Okay, so if the natural state is health, and this vital principle knows what to do, then why do we get sick? Why do we stay sick? What's blocking that natural flow?
This is where he gets really specific. He identifies the blockage as inverted thought.
Inverted thought. Okay, break that down for me.
Well, remember how the mind works. It's a builder. It takes the pattern of your dominant thoughts and works to make it real. That power is neutral, like electricity.
It can light the house or burn it down?
Right. So inverted thought is basically running the machine in reverse. He points to two main forms of it, fear and strain.
And he has that killer line about fear, doesn't he? Faith in the wrong thing.
It's a punch in the gut, isn't it?
Mm.
But think about what fear actually is as a mental action. You're not just acknowledging a bad possibility. You are visualizing it. You're obsessing over it. You're adding all this emotional energy to the worst-case scenario.
You're basically handing the builder a blueprint for disaster and saying, here, make this.
You are using your creative power to build the very thing you're terrified of. That's inverted thought.
Yeah.
And the strain is the physical side of that. The tension, the constriction.
And this is where the modern science just snaps right into place. I mean, he was writing this over a century ago, but psychoneuroimmunology.
It's a mouthful, yeah.
But it's the study of how our psychology affects our nervous system and immune system. It validates this whole idea.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
When you're in that state of chronic fear or anxiety, your body goes into fight or flight. It floods you with cortisol and adrenaline.
Which is great if you need to run from a tiger.
Perfect for tigers. Terrible for healing. Because to save energy for the immediate crisis, your body shuts down all the long-term projects. It suppresses your immune system. It stops cell repair.
So fear literally turns off the repair crew.
It puts a padlock on the tool shed. So when Troward says fear blocks the flow of vitality, he's not just being poetic. He's describing a physiological fact. If you're obsessing over being sick, you are chemically preventing your body from getting well.
Wow. That strain isn't just a bad feeling, it's a chemical blockade.
It's a chemical blockade.
Okay, so we've identified the problem. It's the fear and strain that stop the gardener from working. What's the alternative? Troward talks about restoration and renewal, and he uses words like acceptance.
He does.
And I think for a lot of people, acceptance sounds like giving up. It sounds like resignation. Like, oh, well, I guess this is just my life now.
That's the critical misunderstanding. Resignation is passive. It says the bad thing is won. That's actually just another form of negative faith.
You have faith in the problem.
Exactly. Troward advocates for calm acceptance. This is an active state, not a passive one.
How can acceptance be active? That sounds like a contradiction.
Well, let's look at the Stoics. Epictetus talks about the watchman at the gate of your mind.
Love that image.
So imagine a guard at the door of your mind. A sensation of pain arrives. The undisciplined mind just lets it run straight to the panic center.
Oh no, I'm dying.
The riot starts.
Right. But the watchman stops that impression at the gate. He looks at it and says, okay, this is a sensation of pain. Fact. Does this mean I am doomed? No. That is an opinion.
So the watchman separates the fact from the fear story we attach to it. Exactly. He says, I accept this sensation exists right now, but I refuse to add the second layer of panic. That is active acceptance. You're actively holding back the fear so you can deal with the reality clearly.
And the neuroscience on this, what they call open monitoring, is just, it's incredible.
It is. When the brain stops striving, when it stops frantically trying to fight the moment, the stress centers, like the amygdala, literally shrink over time. And the rest and digest system kicks in.
The only state where deep repair can actually happen.
The only one. So Troward's advice to stay calm wasn't just, being a polite British gentleman. It was a biological strategy.
Okay, but I have to play devil's advocate here. This is where people get tripped up. It's easy to hear this and think, okay, so I just sit on my couch, think happy thoughts, and ignore the actual problem.
And Troward would say, objection. He was a pragmatist, not a dreamer. He insisted on a holistic view.
Meaning you can't just work on the mind and neglect the vehicle?
You can't. You cannot hold a mental attitude of peace while you are treating your body with violence or neglect. It's a contradiction.
So if you're meditating on perfect health, but you're only sleeping 4 hours a night and eating junk?
You're fighting yourself. Your mind says order, but your actions are creating chaos. Troward would say you have to use the best available knowledge on all levels.
So sleep is a law.
Sleep is a law of restoration. Nutrition is a law. Medicine is the application of physical laws to physical matter. You have to respect all of it.
That's a relief to hear, I think, because sometimes in these circles there's a stigma around, say, taking medication, like it's a failure of mind.
Troward would call that nonsense. The key isn't what you do, it's the attitude behind it.
The why.
Right. Are you taking the medicine out of frantic terror? Or are you taking it as a wise gardener, calmly providing the soil with what it needs?
It's the difference between throwing water on a fire in a panic and watering a plant.
Beautifully said. The inner and the outer have to match. Peace in the mind, wisdom in the action.
Okay, let's apply this. We promise to look at how this works beyond just the body. First example, work, burnout, procrastination. How do you heal a broken workflow?
Well, the ailment there is almost always strain. Our culture glorifies the grind.
Hustle culture, yeah.
But that's usually driven by fear. Fear of failure, fear of not being enough. So we use willpower to try and force an outcome. We're just grinding the gears.
So what's the cure?
To shift from forcing to aligning, we mean clearing out that mental resistance, that fear of failure, so your natural ability can just flow.
So instead of sitting down thinking, I have to do this or I'm a failure,
which is pure strain, you sit down and think, I am perfectly capable of this, one step at a time. You lower the mental stakes, which paradoxically raises the quality of your work.
Okay, second example, relationships. This is tough because we usually think the other person is the problem.
We do, but Troward would say the ailment is isolation thinking, believing I'm me, you're you, and we're in a fight.
Us versus them.
The cure comes from the Stoics, actually. This idea of contracting the circles, seeing the other person as part of your circle, not outside of it.
So you heal the relationship by healing your perception that you're separate.
You have to restore the order of unity in your own mind first. You have to stop projecting war. And it's amazing how often when one person stops fighting internally, the whole conflict just runs out of fuel.
Third example, habits. That negative loop we can't seem to break.
Yeah, the ailment there is a deep neurological groove. The cure is not to fight the old habit. That just gives it more energy.
Like trying not to think of a pink elephant.
Exactly. You're just thinking about the pink elephant.
Yeah.
The cure is displacement. You don't scream at the weed. You plant a beautiful flower right next to it. You focus all your attention on cultivating the new good habit.
You crowd out the bad with the good.
You starve the old habit of attention. It's the only way to heal a mindset permanently.
This is all so practical. Okay, let's try to make this real for people listening right now. We've got a little guided exercise we call Restore the Inner Climate.
Yeah, like a 5-step triage kit for when you feel that strain starting to build.
Okay, so for everyone listening, you can do this right where you are. First, just identify one area where you feel strained or scattered. Just one. Notice it without judgment.
Okay, there's strain here.
You're just diagnosing. Looking at the weed.
Next. Release one form of inner resistance around it. What's the fear talk? This will never end. I'm failing. Just see that thought as a heavy bag you're carrying and drop it. Let it go. You're removing the active block.
Third, choose one restoring thought that feels calm and true.
Emphasis on true, not a lie, not I'm a billionaire if you're not. Something simple, like I can handle this one step at a time.
That's your seed. Plant it. Fourth, take one small outward action today that supports that restoration.
Drink some water. Go for a walk. Do something physical that aligns with healing.
And finally, remove one contradiction. If you say you want peace, stop watching the 24-hour cycle of bad news.
Turn it off. Stop reinfecting the wound.
Identify, release, plant truth, act, and remove contradiction. It's a powerful little loop.
It puts the gardener back in their proper role.
Now, even with this, people make mistakes. Let's run through the top 5 pitfalls. Mistake 1, trying to force the healing.
This is the big one. Using willpower to squeeze the result. I am healing, darn it, which is just more strain.
The fix.
Remember, the will is for keeping your mind steady on the good thought, not for forcing the outcome. It's the gardener carrying the water, not pulling the plant.
Mistake 2. Ignoring the physical world.
The spiritual bypass. Thinking you're too enlightened for sleep or doctors. The fix is humility. Respect the physical laws. Mental science complements physical science. It doesn't replace it.
Mistake 3. Checking for results too soon.
Digging up the seed every 5 minutes to see if it's growing.
Guilty. I've been calm for 10 minutes. Why isn't it fixed?
The fix is patience. Trust the process. Your job is to maintain the conditions. The result will come when it's ready.
Mistake 4. Specificity obsession. Micromanaging the cure.
Yeah, getting obsessed with one tiny symptom instead of the whole system. The fix is to focus on the general condition of wholeness or vitality. Restore the general order, and the specific symptoms take care of themselves.
And mistake 5. Isolation thinking.
Thinking you have to do this all alone, that you have to generate all this power yourself.
And the fix?
Remember Troward's idea of unity. You're connected to a universal source of life. You're not generating the power, you're just an outlet for it. Relax into that support. You're not alone in this.
That's a powerful thought. Okay, this has been a huge conversation. Could you boil it all down for us? What are the key takeaways?
I can try. First, that healing is the restoration of order, not magic. Second, fear and strain are the barriers, the inverted thought that block vitality.
We act as gardeners.
Yes, that's the third point. We prepare the mental soil, but we trust the life principle to do the actual work.
Yeah.
Fourth, calm acceptance is an active state, not a passive one.
And we have to support our inner work with wise outer actions.
That's the fifth. Inner and outer must align. Sixth, this principle applies everywhere to work, relationships, habits, not just the body.
And finally,
the key is consistency. Maintaining that inner climate and removing the contradictions that cause the strain in the first place.
receptive to life. I like that. You know, we talked so much about not forcing and allowing, but I know some people are thinking, but I have a strong will. Should I not use it?
It's a perfect question. And no, Troward doesn't want us to be passive jellyfish. We absolutely have a will, and it is incredibly powerful.
So there's a correct way to use it.
There is. And that's exactly what we're going to break down next time. Our 11th installment is called The Will. And here's a little tease for it.
Go on.
The will is not for grit, it's for focus. The will is like the magnifying glass that holds the sunlight in one spot until it starts a fire.
Ooh, I like that. So we're going to learn how to hold the magnifying glass steady.
That's exactly right. We're going to unpack Troward's specific instructions on how to use your will to direct all this power we've been talking about today.
I can't wait for that one. This whole series is really building on itself.
It is. It's a complete architecture for living, really.
Thanks for being here. If you want the full series, check the playlist, and please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.